What is up, guys? NYKia31 here. Madden 17 Playbook Review Series. We're on the Panthers. What to do and what to say about the Panthers. This is an odd one. You guys have seen me do the power spread with Cam Newton and, trying to base around hammering the ball and running play action and taking deep shots off of that. And certainly you can to some extent. The problem with this playbook basically is this. It's very similar to the Niners playbook in that when you scroll through it, look at the play design, look at the formations, it it really does a good job on the surface of replicating how the Panthers play. Power run from under center and from the shotgun, power spread concepts with Cam and play action off of that, and a more dynamic than you think passing game from a straight dropbacks perspective. The issue is when you try to run all this stuff on the field, you run into a whole slew of problems. While conceptually it looks good, the game's mechanics, both in how the game plays and how people like to play it, and the mechanics that you have to use as far as the option game and whatnot, the game's mechanics fail it and renders a whole heck of a lot of it useless. So if you do try to establish a power run game, both traditionally and shotgun spread concepts, you're going to run into frustration really quickly because a lot of it just doesn't work. Inverted veer or the power read doesn't work. You can't read it's unrunnable practically. You can run zone read, but there's this weird stuck in molasses effect with your quarterbacks and getting up to speed on the keep. So you'll see this on the QB power and the QB blast as well. I have Derek Carr here playing quarterback, and I'm not using Cam. I'm using Derek Carr because he's pretty much the baseline as far as what I'd use for a quarterback to run this offense. He's got 86 speed, 89 acceleration. His carry rating is 70, which means that you'll want to take a slide with him more often than you would want to take on tacklers. But he's good enough of a runner to get it done. Derek Carr played out of a spread system in Fresno State, more of a pass heavy spread, but he's a pretty athletic guy. Plus, he's a better thrower than the flashback Cam Newton. I mean, one of the disadvantages of this playbook is that it really pigeonholed to really a few types of quarterbacks that can run this playbook. Derek Carr can do it. You might be able to get away with John Elway as far as runs are concerned. The Super Bowl John Elway, maybe as far as being able to take advantage of the designed runs. Marcus Mariota certainly, the Ultimate Legend Steve McNair definitely, Vic definitely, McNabb as well are really the main quarterbacks that you would consider using. But again, the problem is using them in that fashion, you're pretty limited. Zone read, maybe you get a keep read, maybe you don't. Same thing with the speed option, but the speed option and the power option, you have this, choppy step, slow to accelerate effect. QB power is less of that than the QB blast. QB power is pretty decent, but you can't run inverted veer, you get no read. You can't run counter option because you run into the same problems as you do with the shotgun halfback counter. You can't run buck sweep read option or buck sweep because it's not blocked very well. So, what do you have left to do? You have a large chunk of what makes this playbook what it is unusable. You can run the triple options out of the pistol. I prefer the pistol triple option switch as opposed to the traditional pistol option triple option because the mesh between the fullback and the quarterback, the path is kind of weird. You have to take it wider than it shows in the play art in order to get the fullback cranking in there. So you're better off just running it inverted with the halfback being the dive and the fullback being the pitch man. And the biggest shame about it is that the play action shot plays off of the option action, especially the inverted veer play action passes, are really good. The play action read is nice here as well, even though this play I kind of screw up because I'm anticipating the block and release to release quicker, but it never really does. So I kind of roll out, and instead of taking a shot one on one further down the field, I throw it a little bit late on the flat, and the back has nowhere to go but out of bounds. But you can hot route that to make things a little bit more creative as well. You have a single back close set here where you can run bench switch, mesh. I really like this play action, not play action, but this deep post play. I like that the deep post is being run by an outside receiver, and the fact that there's not a whole heck of a lot of downfield double move routes, this kind of serves as one. He breaks off like he's going to run a counter, and not a counter, a corner, before he makes that sharp post cut. I just get a bad high point throw pass there by Derek Carr, which he tends to do from time to time. We have bench switch, the play action Panther post I like a lot. You got a wheel action out there as well on the same side as the post. What am I running here? I'm running bench switch. And you just read the level there. And if he's playing a hard flat of any kind, you just hit the corner. If he's playing a soft squat or a soft zone out there, you hit the out. Here's the mesh. It's a pretty good job of defending it. I make the only throw I can make, or the only read I can make, but again, I get a bad pass lead there. Probably could have stood to pass lead it down or, modify it down, but, what can you do? That'll happen sometimes. Ace, shotgun ace, two tight ends. You can hammer away a little bit here. Here's the read option. And keep in mind that Derek Carr, he has 86 speed, 89 acceleration. But what kills this play is a couple of things. One, my tight end doesn't recognize the manual pre-snap movement and takes a bad path to the second level and opens up my quarterback to get killed. But you see the choppy steps there after the mesh that delays his acceleration. This is why no one really fears running quarterbacks. I mean, who's really afraid of Michael Vick? Even on a straight scramble, you have to press a button to get him out of the straight drop back. Then you got to press another one in order to get him to sprint. It's just very cumbersome, much more so than it has been in the past, to really use a dual threat quarterback effectively. There, I was going to go high point pass to McCaffrey all the way. Booth review overturns a touchdown. So I'm going to kick the field goal here and just go off two possessions and get it over with. So it's a really weird mix of a bunch of broken plays combined with just enough spread option plays that do work so that you can pull them out of your back pocket from time to time. But if you try to base out of them, you'll struggle. Combined with some pretty good drop back pass concepts. Under center, you have the single back close, which I showed you. You have a single back doubles spread is pretty nice, as well as a wide trip set. You have the gun bunch here, which is pretty good. This deep corner is basically a fork concept, which is a pretty basic high-low read in this game. If you see any drifting toward the flat at all, you look to either the corner or the post, and you can hot route that outside guy to a slant or a drag if you want, and hot route the guy running the flat route how you wish, similar to a Z spot play. Anytime I see a play like 518 hook that has authentic Air Coryell verbiage, I'll give it a shot and see if it works. This Panther bunch play is pretty nice. It's basically a double outs concept. Just hit what opens up. And with a guy who's using the slot to that side or outside backer, if he shows that he's lost in space, which has a pretty good chance of happening, you just throw to who he doesn't cover. This 518 hook, if I want it to be a sim Nazi, it's not technically named properly. The 5 route in Eric Coryell verbiage is a deep out, but that's a comeback. That would be a 7. But, that's just quibbling. Not a bad play stock. Again, you have that Z spot type post. And on the same side, you have a hook and a flat, and you can play games with that hook route as well as the flat route. This double levels play, this type of play would be so much better if player movement didn't allow linebackers to cover multiple reads or provided a threat of covering multiple levels. There, I just took the safe read given the time situation. I probably could have hit one of the two other levels over the top with a high point pass, but I didn't want to risk it. So we're going to tack on another field goal here. So you see this, odd mixture playing out between plays that make you want to pull your teeth and stuff that makes you say, hey, this can cook pretty nicely. I'm up 13 nothing and moving the ball pretty efficiently. Gonna start out here in I form type pair. I'm also scrolling through I form. You have weak and strong as well. I'm gonna come out in a bit of a Texas concept. If I get space one on one, I'm gonna look towards the out or the curl. If not, and if it's too deep or cover two, look to see how my opponent is defending it with the user backer. You can usually hit the angle route with the or to the fullback because it goes wide first, and it's going to the route concept's going to occupy the attention of the backer covering the tight end first usually, and you can just hit the fullback underneath it. There, I hit McCaffrey on some one-on-one coverage. I make his user defender do the Humpty dance on the juke, and got a big gain there. Going to run some stretch here, and the key to running stretch is don't spam your tendency to go wide. Read the blocks. If you see the end man on line of scrimmage kick out or push that defensive end or outside backer wide, cut right inside of him. Don't go wide of him. Otherwise, you'll get a block shed usually, and you end up frustrated and complaining that stretch is broke now, which is not. It just requires a little bit more patience for you to run it. Here I'm going to run the QB power. I got a huge lane there, but look at those choppy steps. That's with 89 acceleration. That could have possibly been a touchdown. But, I get a good gain out of it. But you see, those are the type of things that I handicap running this type of playbook with those type of plays. Here I'm going to run buck sweep. This looks like for all the world like it should work the way he's aligned and pinched in. But nope. Nope, nope, nope. The blockers don't get out there. They don't target properly. And I'm forced to cut it back and I get killed. So again, a lot of this stuff, it's just not practical to use based off of how the game plays. And as a result, I'm forced to settle for another field goal. So I mean, I'm up 13 nothing going in. I'm not really threatened by him, so I figure just tack on the field goal. So again, we're back in. What are we going to be in? We're going to be in Ace Twins. You got Smash, got the play action read as we spoke about before. Trips tight end slot. You have play action wide receiver in. We're going to run some inverted veer so you can see the problem with it. How do I read this? The read man is in position to take away both reads. He can take away the back, he can take away the quarterback, and plus, there happened to be a guy wide of him that was left unblocked too. It's just a bloody mess. Inverted veer is a complete and utter nightmare to run. Gun trips tight end is a good set. You got wide receiver screen, you got bubble screen inside smash, HB angle, play action corner. I like to turn most of these HB angle plays into Texas concepts by just streaking the tight end and clearing out the underneath defenders and forcing a user player to either go to the tight end or clamp down on the back, either or. And you can do other hot routes with those guys on the trip side also. Gun trips tight end again. Gonna run some QB power. Choppy steps, choppy steps, choppy steps. Positive yardage, but you don't really get the sense that you're dealing with an advantage of outnumbering the defense because the quarterback is so slow to accelerate. At least with the guy with Cam Newton, he's got basically bronze wonder Darius Jackson running back stats as far as trucking and elusiveness goes. He can power through those things, but a guy like Vic, he has to basically outrun it. A guy like Carr certainly isn't. He's just going to get what he can get and go down, if not, fumble. But you get the idea. Play action, and I get a drop here. So basically, your best avenue of success with this playbook is to run it like a quote-unquote conventional offense and sprinkle in the spread option stuff as a changeup. Going to run speed option here. It's either speed or power option. I'm going to audible to read option. I'm going to get a keep read here. Chop, chop, chop. Then he accelerates. And I had a huge alley there. Again, that could have been a really big play. So again, the mechanics don't really punish people for not having to account for the QB keep. Power option. Again, stuck in molasses, and I'm able to get warp tackled from the backside. Gonna go back under center. Pistol Full House Panther. You see me run that before in other videos trying to run power spread. Heavy Panther's a waste of time. There's no play action off of it, which I find insane. So if someone recognizes that or knows that, they can just run commit you every single time. Gonna go back to Strong Eye. Gonna do play action post. I really like this one. You get good protection from the block and release. You have a deep comeback, and you have twin posts at the tight end and the backside receiver. He run commits me, and I hit Tim Brown over the top, and that's gonna pretty much ice this game. I'm gonna show some other plays from another game, just so you can see some more stuff that I didn't really get to show in this one. As he's going to eject. Here I am in trips tight end again. I'm going to run bubble screen. You want to have good blockers at those receiver spots. We got King Kelvin here going, and King Kelvin can do some damage after the catch with power. He chucks very well. Again, QB power. I guess some elusiveness out of Derek Carr here. Fortunately, he doesn't fumble, but again, you see that slow acceleration. Here's under center doubles, single back doubles. Going to run smash here. An old reliable staple. I just love running it. It's such a really good. It's one of the best route concepts to get you into a rhythm. Zone read out of split back, and what he does here, he likes to play nickel 2-4-5 and drop people off the line of scrimmage and rush two. And I just caught him with too few guys on the line of scrimmage. They all get pancaked, and Derek Carr is able to house that sucker. Gun empty Panther, I really like. It's one of my favorite empty sets in the game. You got this jet sweep and the play action jet sweep. I like empty sets if I can run something out of it to keep people from keying on the pass or just mindlessly edge blitzing. We do a little jukey juke with Cooks. Single tight slots again. I'm going back to this. I'm showing this deep post play again. This time I'm going to make the proper throw. Again, he's dropping only two. And I do the right pass lead. I pass lead it down at 6 o'clock with a high point. Let McCaffrey go and get it. So I decided to put this playbook. What saves this playbook from being in the bottom third playbooks of the game, like 25 and under, is that again, if you separate the broken stuff, there's enough good stuff that you can go to deal with the defensive meta to save you. That's what separates it from the Niners and the Bears, for example. It's just a shame that that all the mechanics don't work better, because if they did, this playbook would provide a lot of headaches for people to have to defend. It'd be one of the top 10 playbooks in the game, no doubt in my mind. But alas, it is not. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed. I have the Patriots coming up next. Looking forward to that one. Looking forward to see how this game replicates or attempts to replicate how they play. That'd be interesting to see. So hope you guys enjoy. I'll talk to you all later. Peace.